And we're live! Welcome to the WAN show, my friends. We've actually got a great show for you guys today. It feels like we hardly ever host the show together anymore.
It's like probably less than 50% of the time.
Like either you're out of the country, or I'm out of the country, or you're in the country but lazy.
That's mean.
I legitimately, we were talking about this before the show, I legitimately don't remember why you weren't here last week. Where were you? Oh, that's right, you had the personal thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So that's the same reason that I probably could not be here today if there were anything that I could do.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Our lives are going great.
Yeah, it's been kind of a rough couple weeks. The good news is my rough couple weeks isn't quite as bad as like my grandparents' rough couple weeks. So, you know, hey, knock on wood for that it continues to not be more worse than it already
from, like,
is.
Minecraft or something?
Well, no, it's like it's a joke.
No, I
like,
got it.
Because your head's made of wood if you're an idiot. So it's time for the WAN show, guys. Lots of great topics for you today. Oculus stops blocking Vive owners from playing exclusive Rift games. Basically, they needed some good PR, so they went and bought it.
Yeah, I think they heard my video was coming and they were like, whoa, and then did this. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Microsoft pays a woman. So I'm sorry, did they actually send us a review sample, or did they just eventually, after 2 months, prioritize your paid order?
I think it was 52 days later they prioritized our paid order, and to add to that, it wasn't that they like shoved it through the queue when it might have been difficult. They're now shipping them at a much faster rate, so got production way higher than it was before, and then we're like, yeah, we can probably give them one of those.
Microsoft pays a woman $10,000 US over a forced Windows 10 upgrade. Dun, dun,
Which,
dun.
okay, I guess we'll talk more about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it later.
Tesla driver dies in the first crash while using autopilot mode.
First fatal crash, specifically.
First fatal crash.
Yes.
Did I say dies in?
Yeah, you said dies in the first crash, but there have been crashes.
Oh, that's fair.
Huh?
That is fair.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be down
U.S.
on
border
Tesla.
control could start asking for your social media accounts.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no. Actually, okay, we'll discuss it more later, but I might be in favor of this. So let's roll the intro and we'll get to all these topics and more. I can just take these off my head. I keep being like, what's on my head? And I keep touching them.
Go on.
Visit squarespace.com/Linus. Actually, it's squarespace.com/WAN show. It's not even the right link.
Oh, and now it's not. Oh, there we go.
I hate this show. So why don't we jump right into our first topic? Oculus stops blocking Vive owners from playing exclusive Rift games.
You know why this actually happened?
You know what? Can I do my ignorant version first, and then can you tell us why it actually happened?
Sure.
Okay, so original article here is from the
You might be right.
website that hold on.
It's from The Verge.
Yeah, hold on. Let's just see if
Wait,
please work completely flawlessly in every way. Oh, no way, it worked.
Wow.
Okay, so original article is from The Verge, and basically, if you guys haven't been paying attention, Oculus has their store where you can buy games and applications, and in theory at some point when it's not just games, where you can buy games. And in that store, some of the games are exclusive to the Rift. And so basically what Oculus was doing was someone came out and I forget what the project was called, Libra something?
Libra VR or Libra Vive or something.
Libra
VR/Revive.
There we go, Libra VR/Revive. And found a way to bypass the DRM that existed on these games that prevented people who did not own a Rift from playing them. And then Oculus reacted by tightening down the DRM and making it so that, like, I actually got as far as to launch Lucky's Tale, and I could, like, look around and enjoy the platformy.
And go, oh, it's a platformer. I should be playing it on a screen with a controller. And then you just decided to.
I actually really want to play it in VR. So I haven't played it yet, though. You actually have.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got as far as to be able to look around in the game, but then they made it so the controller wouldn't work. So that was one of the ways that they locked it down. So Oculus, having come under fire lately, seems to have bought themselves some positive PR by discontinuing the blocking of their exclusive and DRM'd games, discontinued the blocking of preventing Vive owners from playing them. There, let's call that grammatically correct. Okay, what actually happened?
Okay, so Oculus had a check in all of the games downloaded from their store that just did a headset check. Is this a Rift?
Does it
this
check
not a
yourself?
Rift? It should check
Does
itself.
it prevent you from wrecking
because
yourself?
they did kind of wreck themselves.
Did they? Okay.
And, well, if you think, yeah, the PR is really bad, so they kind of wrecked. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's all that LibreVR/Revive was getting around at first. Is this thing a Rift? Yes or no? I think they just like removed that check, or they just told it was a Rift and then moved on or something. But it just basically that part didn't matter. So Oculus got a little upset, patched in like straight up DRM to not allow. It was more intense than just a simple check. And then the way that LibreVR/Revive had to fix that was with a complete DRM breaking patch, which enabled piracy.
Oh.
The original LibreVR/Revive
this.
patch did not enable piracy. It didn't help you pirate games. The new patch
So you
did.
had to buy the game,
You had
but
to
it
buy
got
the game on
around the
store.
headset check.
Yes, that was the original one.
Right.
The new one didn't, and LibreVR/Revive was like, yo, we don't really want to do this, but this is the only option we have to play Rift games on a Vive. So there you go. So Oculus has now allowed people to use games bought on the Oculus Store on the Vive, while saying we continually revise our entitlement and anti-privacy systems. Where is it? We believe protecting developer content is critical to the long-term success of the VR industry. So while they're also doing stuff like, where's the... Why is it an Apple News link to The Verge? The dock is broken for some reason. Well, there's also stuff going on like saying it's solving a major sore point between Oculus and parts of the VR community. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think that was actually the motivation for this. That might be a helpful way for them to paint it so that they also get good PR out of the move. But I think the problem is their action, whether they intended it to or not, was directly resulting in the removal of things that stopped piracy in a very widespread way. So the way for them to try to slow down or stop or whatever the piracy that was going on, they made a way to keep anti-piracy stuff in there, but allow people to use it across platforms. You notice how at the bottom of these notes it says LibreVR/Revive developers have removed their DRM breaking patch.
Good.
So that's gone, which is good.
That's good. All right. I'm creating havoc in Twitch chat right now.
Why?
By saying that it is pre-recorded because it's a national holiday today.
Oh my god. Can we just like
everything? Okay. So everyone and their dog in Twitch chat wants us to move on to a bit of a different topic here. So the original article here is from 9to5Mac, and there is some bad news in the Apple repair world. So Tekserve, which has been in business for 29 years in the New York area, has apparently decided to shutter their doors, citing competition from, I think it's 4 Apple stores, Best Buy, and let's see what else we got going on here. And online sales, so they're saying they're no longer doing enough business on the sales side to make continued operation viable, so they were a third-party Apple product repair shop. And this actually would seem to indicate that it's possible that there's more to this than necessarily just the business isn't viable. So Louis Rossmann, who you guys may know from the super angry video where the guy was so mad at me for putting a video card in an oven that he was practically foaming at the mouth and swearing his head off. I have never actually watched the video because I was pretty sure it would just annoy me and make it so that I didn't want to work with him. But I decided that, you know, my reaction to that video, because he wasn't wrong, my reaction to that video should be to show up at his shop and have him show me how to do it properly. Sharp guy, nice guy. He was just upset.
I have to give you props. That was a pretty gentlemanly move.
I get it. I understand why he was mad. I totally get it. And you know what? We went out for dinner. We patched our differences, and I've actually been in touch since then. We submerged some phones in salt water a little while ago, and I got his help as a consultant to help us figure out if could there be any way to revive them. Turns out the answer was no. I actually owe him an email back. He's like, hey, whatever happened with that? Because I emailed him last night when I saw this video. No, it didn't work, bud. Sorry, man. Yeah, nothing about it worked. It was terrible.
They were under salt water for a while.
Well, they were under salt water for a while, and then they were submerged in alcohol for 5 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't get to them because I was like out of the country for weeks. So yeah,
that also doesn't sound great.
Everything about it is terrible.
Okay.
The laminated layers of the like screen and the glass and the touch interface just fell apart in my hand.
Well, because of the alcohol, right?
Yes.
Because you just like burned all the glue.
Did everything, all the adhesive, all the seals, all the O-rings.
Anyway,
so. There may be more to this because Lewis's video from last night it contained a lot of unclear sort of wording about things, but it was really clear on a few things. Number one is that his business is viable. And I could have told you that because I went down, I visited him like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. And I walked into his shop. There was customer in, there was customer out. I saw his rate card. I saw how many people he has on staff. I've watched his videos. I know how long the repairs take. It doesn't take a frickin' genius to do the math. He's doing just fine. He's built himself a business from nothing and is more than surviving. He even offered to pay for dinner, but I didn't let him because I knew it was my bad for upsetting him by baking video cards. Anyway, so he made it really clear that anything that happens to his business, if his business is gone, you know, in a month, that it is not because it was not viable. He made it really clear that there are tools available online that will allow you to download the videos of a given channel, to perhaps to archive them just in case YouTube was no longer serving those videos. So what he seems to be hinting at very strongly, and you can see for such a small channel, it's got 171,000 subscribers and 372,000 views on this video. So for such a small channel, I would consider that to be kind of semi-viral. It's about like if we released a video that did 5 million views.
Yeah.
So that's a certain amount of virality that we've got going on with this video. People are reacting very strongly to this. There's a lot of speculation that Apple themselves, who have been known to do things as crazy as sick SWAT teams on repair shops that are selling Apple trademarked merchandise. In the case of one of the stories I heard, it was actually replacement back plates for iPhones that had Apple logos on them. So they've gone as far as to sick SWAT teams on these people and close down their shops. It is being speculated that Apple could be behind Louis potentially losing his YouTube videos as well as his livelihood in the form of his shop. I have no confirmation from him. I suspect, based on that, he's a pretty outspoken guy. Not real afraid of just kind of saying whatever he's thinking, you know? Firing from the hip a little. I suspect that there is some kind of legal imposition on him to keep his mouth shut at this time, and that it could affect the proceedings of whatever battle it is that he finds himself in. He's not asking for any money. He's not asking for really anything. I reached out. I said, hey, bro, can I do anything to help? He said, no, it's just good to know that you're there. So I guess that's all that I would ask, guys, is either check out, I think there's a thread on Reddit as well, but check that out, or just, I guess you guys don't have to watch me do this, but leave a comment under the video. Just be like, yo, you know, whatever's going on, we're there because he's a good guy and there's a bad thing happening to him right now. And that's pretty much where I'm at on the whole Louis Rossmann thing. Yeah. So maybe we could move on to some good news.
1 second.
How about some good news?
1 second.
Wow, we don't have a lot of good news, do we? We have some funny news. What's up? No, I don't think I want to get involved in that.
Okay.
Okay, so this the original article here is from Extreme Tech, and this is some pretty extreme craziness. A woman wins a $10,000 judgment against Microsoft for the forced Windows 10 upgrade that happened on her computer. Do you want to post this in the Twitch chat?
Yep, on it.
Wow, does this have the potential to open the floodgates, or is this a one-time thing, or
Hey Microsoft, I want my 10 grand. You bricked my computer.
Yeah.
Obviously temporarily, so not really bricked, but
like it was very inconvenient for me.
You made it completely unusable until I reformatted everything.
So Terry Goldstein of Sausalito, don't quote me on that, California, sued Microsoft after a failed Windows 10 upgrade left her system performing poorly. Not even in an unusable state, which I know you've personally experienced.
Yeah, and I know other people have as well. I know people have experienced this too, so she's also not the only one.
Prone to crashing and reportedly unusable for multiple days. Goldstein reached out to Microsoft customer service to attempt to resolve her issues and filed a suit once the company failed to resolve her problems. And you know what? This is something that I've always been upset about. Why is it that Microsoft, a company that charges $110 to $180, depending on the edition that you buy, why is it that a company that charges that much for their products doesn't have to pick up a phone when you have a problem with it? Can anyone else figure that out? Why is it that they just get to have a support desk?
At the tech shops that I've worked at, if someone's operating system is screwed up and we have to reinstall it and use a key, and the key that's on the side of their box doesn't work because it never freaking works, and you call them, they're just like, not our problem. Every time. What the hell?
Did you know that there are the discount for system integrators is not as much as you'd think? They actually still pay a significant amount of money for Microsoft Windows. So the fact that they just get to kind of go, oh, yep, nope, should be upsetting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Super frustrating. And then if you buy it yourself, they just do the same thing.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I've had conversations with Microsoft where, a lot of you have probably noticed that in the corner of a lot of our screen capture, all of our benchmarking systems, it says this copy of Windows is not genuine. How on earth are we supposed to be using a genuine copy of Windows on a benchmark machine?
Every single time hardware changes, it invalidates the key.
I have spent literally hours, because it used to be that I would go to the trouble of calling in and revalidating it every time that I changed a motherboard, for example. Certain components it dislikes more than others. Graphics cards are pretty good,
but
CPU
not
bad.
Always too.
And not always.
I've changed a graphics card and I've had it get pissed.
Boom. So basically, I used to call in all the time, and I got to the point where one of my bench test copies of Windows had been reactivated so many times they just refused to keep doing it for me. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? This is the same computer. And they're like, there's nothing we can do. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? My job is to test hardware and change out the hardware on the machine. So when I change a motherboard, I am not changing the system. I'm just changing a motherboard. It's and they're like, well, there's no solution. So what? I can't. You understand? There's an entire industry of people who have to test computers, and you're basically just telling them all to pirate Windows, because I have literally no other choice. Actually, I do have another choice. So the reason that's always down there. Because if I was pirating Windows, it wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
The reason that's down there is because I'm just running within the 30-day trial. So we just have to reformat the machines periodically and just not enter a product key. We just skip it. The reality of it is these are not production machines, and they're just
And
for
we bought
testing
a crap
purposes.
ton of keys.
We also have like a shelf of keys just for lulz, just in case. You know why? It's in case someone walks in here and is like,
Then we can just be like, key.
It's like, yeah, like what? I'm like, look, I didn't know what to do. I talked to Microsoft support. They couldn't tell me what to do. So I just bought like a pile of Pro keys. Like, fine. I don't know what to tell you anymore. Just look here, Pro keys. Like, I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Not a small pile. It's a fair amount.
So the $10,000 figure reflected the estimated lost compensation. So maybe she was self-employed or something?
Maybe.
As well as the cost of a new system. They had to buy her a new computer.
Wow.
So they appealed the initial judgment, but dropped the appeal last month. That is hilarious.
The problem I would have here is I didn't contact customer service, and I just fixed the problem immediately by myself. So it took me like a couple hours, and then updates, and then I was done.
Well, they should have to pay you for the training and experience and expertise that goes into having been able to fix the problem. That's how life works.
That's true.
I mean, when you bring in a plumber and it takes him 15 minutes to fix the problem, you're not paying him for 15 minutes. You're paying him or her for the years of experience that they bring into your house in order to fix it in 15 minutes.
Speaking of or her, a female plumber friend of mine just got engaged.
Really?
Yeah. So congratulations to them. I'm not going to say names because I don't know, but yeah, I'm not even joking. My dad taught her.
Do I know this person or?
I doubt it. I went
Okay.
to high school with them.
Okay.
I don't think you've ever met them, though.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyways. It was like yesterday or the day before. It was very recently. I don't remember.
On that positive note, I have more bad news.
Yay.
So we're on the Tesla blog here, teslamotors.com, and yeah. So you know what is the saddest thing about this? Every additional incident that happens from now on will get less and less attention.
Yeah.
The only reason anyone's paying attention to this is because it's the first. But, you know, with that said, Tesla is kind of, you know, being sympathetic while also protecting their own interests in their statement, pointing out that, in fact, this shouldn't have happened if the operator of the vehicle was following the guidelines that they...
To be fair,
Should have
they
been
didn't
following.
like push on that a ton.
No, they didn't, but they did point it out.
Yeah.
I think legally it was a responsible thing to point that out.
Yes.
But in a nutshell,
They didn't try to make that the focus or anything, but yeah.
the autopilot sensors on a Model S failed to distinguish a white tractor trailer crossing the highway against a bright sky. So Joshua Brown had put the Model S in autopilot mode to control the car during highway driving. The car attempted to drive full speed under the tractor trailer. It impacted the windshield, veered off the road, crashed through 2 fences and into a power pole. So Joshua Brown has passed away. The incident was disclosed by Tesla on Thursday night and happened on May 7th, actually, in Williston, Florida. So it actually took a little while for them to start talking about this.
They were probably looking into how it happened and all that kind
Well,
of
I think they wanted to know what the story is before
Yeah.
they start talking about the story. Otherwise, you end up with, you know, widespread...
changing stories and all this kind of stuff.
And you know how the internet loves to speculate. I mean, the number of people who think... who was it? I think, like, Google is responsible for the Twitter
Yeah, that's not accurate.
thing that happened with us.
It is a company, but it was not
a
Google.
thing. Yeah, it's just crazy. So they detailed in their statement that this is the first known autopilot death in 130 million miles driven by their customers. This isn't in my notes, so don't quote me on the exact numbers. But
I've got it here, actually.
yeah.
So among all vehicles in the U.S., there's a fatality every 94 million miles, compared to 130 that were in autopilot mode.
So they were quick to point out that they're still ahead.
Yeah, and worldwide, the fatality approximation is at about 60 million miles. So
That's not. I don't know how apples to apples that is though, because I don't think Teslas are all over the place in like Cambodia where people drive like they all just make up their own rules as they go. Like I think the U.S. comparison.
But that's why it's lower.
Right.
Yeah, because
the
of
U.S.
that.
comparison is more fair.
Yeah, the 60 is not specifically not a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
That's still not. Like, we're not trying to be like, no, they did great. Like, it still sort of sucks.
Yeah, still sucks. You know, there's still supposed to be other sensors on the car that should have known that there was a very large object actually in front of the car. But, you know, Tesla is taking this opportunity to remind people, some of whom have been posting very irresponsible videos to YouTube even.
Like the guy sleeping.
Yep, of abusing their autopilot mode. It is an assist feature that requires you to keep your hands on the steering wheel at all times. You need to maintain control and responsibility for your vehicle while using it. I'm just glad that it didn't carry them onto, you know, a pile of school children or something. Like, this could have been worse. And it's a really important opportunity for us to remind ourselves that they are a 2 out of 4 in terms of autonomous driving standards. 4 is fully autonomous. They are not that. They are 2. Keep your hands on the wheel.
Means.
Be prepared to take over at any time. Yeah. So that's a drag. You know what? Maybe now's the time for a Twitter blitz here. I want to hear from you guys. So tweet at Linus Tech on Twitter. I guess this is also a good opportunity to tell you guys that the at Linus Tech Twitter handle is actually going to become the official Linus Tech Tips Twitter handle, and I'm going to be switching over to something else personally. It's sort of TBD, but it's probably going to be at Linus G. Sebastian. I couldn't get at Linus Sebastian. Darn.
Did you contact them?
I've tried to contact at Linus Sebastian before. I wasn't able to get through. So oh crap. I need to get in touch with the at Linus Tech Tips guy. He's going to hand that over to us as well. So we have at Linus Tech Tips with a lowercase I at the beginning. That's the guy that was posting a bunch of spam. It was like a bot for a while. Okay. And then at Linus Tech Tips is coming, but we're not going to switch the Linus Tech Tips, because ideally I would have liked at Linus Tech Tips to be the publication and at Linus Tech Tips to be me.
Yes. Yeah.
And theoretically you could do that, but you lose your verified checkmark. So I don't want to strip the company of its verified checkmark. Also, all of the Twitter handles in the videos and under the videos would have to be replaced with the official one, which is a real chore and I don't feel like doing it. So, vehicles. Sorry, I'm going to create a straw poll here as well. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let's get that posted in the Twitch chat. Want to hear from you guys. Want to hear from you guys on Twitter. But basically the question is, are you still comfortable with autonomous vehicles? And the answers are yes, no, I never was, or, I mean, if you want to hit us up on Twitter, then I guess you could say something a little bit, more complex than that. But still limited to 140 characters or whatever it is. Sorry, I just got to get us signed into Twitter. Do you want to jump on to the next topic in the meantime? Then we'll come back to this blitz.
Sure. So U.S. Border Control could start asking for your social media accounts. Now, to be clear, this is a like when you're filling out your, I believe it's like your customs incoming form or whatever, the questionnaire thing that you fill out when you enter the country. I don't think this is U.S. Border Patrol as in driving over the border. I think this is U.S. Border Control as in flying into the country. It would be added to both electronic system for travel authorization and the I-94W forms.
Oh, I still had my screen share on. Okay, I'm going to have to deal with that immediately. Okay.
All right. You should do that very quickly. Anyways, going to keep talking. Anyways, and it would be an optional field. So you would have the option to put it in or not. I don't necessarily think that this is the worst thing ever. One, it's optional. Two, this would be what is currently, I don't know, see, it's kind of weird. This would be what is currently public on your social media account. So if you had things that you didn't want people to see, you would theoretically have it posted in a private way. So it's probably not the end of the world. And you could have like, say you were a like cam girl or a porn star or something like that. Maybe have your work account and your personal account and give them your personal account when going over the border. I do think it's a little bit weird for things like stalking. You go over the border, someone thinks you're attractive, you have to give them all of your information, including address and social information. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what the inspiration for it is. You could theoretically say like, oh, like ISIS members and stuff have social media accounts, whatnot and so forth, but I seriously doubt any of them would give that one. Like I just said about the, like, if you're an adult star of some form, you would have a work one and a non-work one. I have a feeling someone who's as blatant as an ISIS member with a Twitter account wouldn't put their ISIS affiliated Twitter account on a travel authorization form to go into the US, because that is just ridiculous. And it's also an optional area. So, yeah.
Okay, well, that was potentially the end of the world, but isn't.
Yay!
If I could copy this, that would be great. Jeez, I've had a bad enough week with that kind of crap going on. That's the last thing. Yeah, no, I know. No, it was much worse than that, actually. It was much worse than just the password. It was that and a backup code. So it was like, it was the password and the means to circumvent my two-factor authentication.
The best part is too, I saw through my administratory stuff that people were storing backup codes in that, and was literally going to bring it up in the Monday morning meeting next week that people should not do that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Sorry, I'm just gonna need a minute. Actually, okay, no, I did want to weigh in on that topic, and I'm actually like, I'm good now. That was the only thing that showed up there, and it's all sort of squared away now.
Ant Venom, being a bro in chat, was like, "You post pictures, you get timed out. Talk shit, get hit."
So when crossing the border, like honestly, some of the easiest times that I've ever had crossing the border have been when I explain who I am and show them a video. Because like if I'm going down to attend a conference or something like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm this guy. I make videos about tech on YouTube. And they're like, oh, okay. So you're you.
You're gonna want to figure that out immediately.
Okay, yeah, I'll figure that out.
So I have kind of the same thing. Someone will ask me what I'm doing, and I'm like, oh, I'm going for meetings. And like before they even ask me, like, what kind of meetings? Because you know the border control guy is just like, I've had 10,000 people come through here today, and I'm tired of asking these questions every single time. So instead of just like vomiting information at them, because they also don't want that either, and that makes you look super suspicious, I just have my formulated, obvious question ready. I'm like, I'm a YouTube person, I make YouTube videos. I'm going to visit a hardware company because I make YouTube videos on hardware, and I'm going down there for meetings. Yeah, it's actually pretty straightforward. So for me, being able to show like, here's my Twitter account, which is for work, and here's the YouTube channel that we have, it's for work, and here's my Facebook page, it's private. So there's my picture, I guess. Cool. Actually, I don't have any problems with that at all. And one kind of cool side effect of this could be that people are more wary about what they put publicly on their social media. Because, man, some people aren't careful with that at all. Like Dennis. Just posting dick pics on Twitter all the time. Yeah. Yes, he does. That's why his Twitter handle is Dennis is hung. Yeah.
I thought it was Denny is hung.
Is it Denny is hung? Oh, it's Denny is hung.
Ever so slightly different than that.
As in Denny's, the restaurant chain. Anyways, Talking about another thing that could be seen in either way, Apple has granted a patent that can prevent iPhones from recording at concerts. I'm going to post the 9 to 5 Mac article in the chat so you guys can see it as well. My immediate gut reaction is that...
Sorry, I should probably take this. It's my sister, which...
Yep, yep.
Sort of what's going on right now.
I would also recommend going, yeah. So... Come on, Dennis. My immediate knee-jerk reaction is that I don't care at all because cell phone recordings at shows are stupid. What we're talking about right now is Apple has been granted a patent that can prevent iPhones from recording concerts.
Oh.
What do you think?
How do they prevent that?
I actually have no idea. One second. An infrared emitter can be located near an object and generate infrared signals with encoded data that includes... Oh! So up on stage or something, they would blast out infrared that would tell the phones to... Yeah. You like that?
I hate people Snapchat such an entire concert.
Yeah. One thing, once the Snapchat gets out, you can't hear shit anyways. Because it's just like...
Yeah.
The whole
if you
time.
Snapchat 2 story of the concert, it's fine. But if you Snapchat entire story, that's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sit on the show if you want. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna finish this topic. I think this they have like copyright thing, right? You cannot record a lot of concerts that you're not allowed to record. I don't know in Taiwan.
Even outside of that, because I agree, and that makes sense. And if I was hosting a concert, I would want people to just go instead of just watching and recording.
Yeah.
So I get that. But even just like people standing there like this,
Yeah,
recording
yeah.
with their phones, being obnoxious and super annoying,
Yeah.
and like getting videos from people that are like, okay, this
like,
is stupid.
even you record it, when are you going to look at it again?
You're never going to watch that
You're
again.
not gonna watch
You can't hear the music properly. Like, it's going to be blown out because all the lasers and lights and crap.
I don't mind they do that, taking pictures or anything before the concert actually start.
I think still pictures are probably fine.
Yeah, but...
If you want just like one memento of like, this is cool, click.
Or like selfie.
Yeah, or something. But like...
No
like,
selfie stick though.
No selfie stick?
That
might be better because then your arms aren't way up in the air.
No, that's too annoying. It's very crowded and...
Takes up too much space?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And
I was thinking if they go like straight up.
No, even some
But I doubt most
places
people would.
in Japan, they
ban them?
Yeah, they ban.
Disneyland did too.
Yeah. It's too dangerous.
Yeah. Apparently there's more positive uses for the technology, as in museums. Oh, that could be cool. So museums could use it in a different way. While you're trying to take a photo of something, they could display relevant information about it.
That's cool.
That could be pretty sweet.
Is that what's? Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. It sounds like there's too much potential for misuse, though. Because if they can display things on the screen about what you're pointing the camera at in a museum, could someone not use it to just put black over your screen so you can't see what you're trying to film or record?
You mean when they are in the museum?
No, like
In the
as a civilian, I feel like someone could use this to like
to see your stuff.
to like block people from taking photos of different things. When theoretically you're allowed filming or taking photos of whatever you want on public property, someone could try to block you from doing so by using this exact same technology. Am I being like way too tinfoil hatty?
I don't know what you're talking.
IR blasting a license plate number. Yeah, like someone saying if you had, like the museum thing, right?
Yeah.
So if I try to take a photo of my wallet,
Yeah.
I'm at the museum and my wallet is somehow important, even though it's really not. It says on screen, this was so-and-so's wallet. He got it here and used it in the great battle of buying things at Walmart.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Was it on Black Friday?
Probably, yeah. That's funny and relevant. You could theoretically, say this is someone's license plate, they could have the same technology blasting so that when you try to take a picture or video of their license plate, it's just black. Or it covers your screen with something. I could be way too tinfoil hatty. That's probably
I don't know
fine.
that situation. But I agree with that. That's a cool thing if they use that in a concert.
In the concerts.
Or maybe some meeting. Some meeting is like, was like confidential.
Okay.
Maybe that'd be cool if people try to record things.
So like if we try to do like a factory tour.
And if we have that technology in our office, no prank, then no pranks.
I'm sure you'd appreciate that. Then you can't get Burkle back though.
Oh, we can do outside the office.
Okay. Yeah. At your house? Are you saying we can prank you at your house?
No, I'm moving.
Oh, right. Actually, that's not funny. Dun-dun-dun. Oh, do you know those channels, mainly in Asia, where you can watch someone eat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stream.
Twitch is allowing that now.
They banned that before?
Yeah, they did.
Why?
Before, they didn't have a section for it. Twitch likes having a section for different things. So they now added a category called social eating.
What?
It sits along
Social
other
eating, is that the
non-gaming
thing?
categories like Twitch Creative. Creative I've actually used a fair amount. I don't know if I'm going to use social eating. Although people
they
have
have
commented that a lot of
like
times if I'm...
And a section called life.
Life?
Yeah. Cause social eating is weird. I don't know what does that term mean? Social eating.
But the Asian streams where they just eat on camera, that's social eating. You're eating and you're talking to the people that are watching
Social
your
media
streams.
eating.
Eating show.
Yeah. Eating show. Yeah, sure.
I mean, if you can have a cooking show, you should be able to have an eating show, right?
Yeah.
But if you can eat, you can also have a different washroom show.
You want a washroom show? I'm sure they have that.
Because that's your logic, Linus.
So you just took it to the next step when you get rid of the food. Yeah. So when you make the food, when you consume the food, and then you get rid of the food.
Okay, but we know
you want the full
we
circle.
know that Twitch has nudity guidelines. So if you were gonna have a washroom show, it would have to be what, like neck up and just facial expressions.
You can have your shirt on when you're on the toilet.
Yeah, you can have your shirt on when you're on the toilet.
So
That's
like waist,
like medium
just
shot.
above. Yeah, here.
Here.
Like about there.
Okay.
I think it makes sense.
No one's gonna watch that.
Is there any?
I'm pretty sure someone would watch that.
Yeah, someone would. Is there any like obscenity problems?
I don't think so. I mean, it's a natural thing, you know. Going to the bathroom is very natural.
But sex is also natural.
Sex is, well, it can be pretty unnatural.
Oh.
Right. Okay. Fair. Speaking of Twitch streams for going to the washroom, Android N is called Nougat. Android 7.0 Nougat.
Here, I'm gonna jump in. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Dennis, because I gotta do our sponsor spots.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun,
Are we doing
dun.
sponsor spots before Nougat?
Yes, first sponsors, then Nougat.
Okay.
All right. So the new site that you might get.
What? The new site that you might get.
Nougat.
Oh,
that's awful. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Might be on Squarespace. They've got 24/7 support via live chat and email. They feature responsive design in all of their templates, which means your website looks great on any device. They've got commerce built into every website, so you can create a free online store. They've got their cover pages feature, which lets you have like a one-page online presence if you're a Web 2.0 company and you think that more pages isn't cool. Personally not a fan, but if you must have that kind of site, then I guess Squarespace can do that for you. And they've got lots of other tools too, everything from their easy inline text editing to their just kind of move things around, move pictures around interface, to the fact that it's all cloud-based, and finally to their logo creator, and I'm sure there's a million things that I'm not thinking of, but basically it makes it easy to make a website. Your website will be reliable. The only time ours has gone down was entirely caused by someone else, not Squarespace, that's for sure.
And technically the site didn't go down. You just couldn't find it.
That's true. If you had gone to the IP directly, then that would have worked just fine, actually,
Yes.
now that you bring that up.
Yep.
So Squarespace did nothing wrong.
Nope.
You can start a trial with no credit card required and start building your website today, and everyone can now publish content in Apple News format directly from their Squarespace blog, making it available to millions of potential readers. Though, I mean, if you're blogging about like your washroom streaming show, then actually, there's probably millions of potential viewers for that. Okay, fine. So when you decide to, when you just, everything is awful right now. When you decide to sign up for Squarespace, make sure you use offer code WAN so you can save 10% on your first purchase. Thanks to Squarespace for supporting the WAN show. You should keep doing it so we can build our show beautiful.
I like it.
Nick's not here to yell at me anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll find a way.
What have we got for our next topic here?
Nougat.
Right, Android N, the N word, Nougat.
Yeah.
The original article here is from Android Police. Let's go ahead and you did it. You beat me to the punch.
Ha!
I was gonna do it. I was just like I'm not here with Luke because he's away last week mode and
lots of other weeks.
And lots of other weeks. Android N is now officially Nougat.
Yay! I really wanted them to make it Namey McNameface. Did you see
Wasn't that the one that got like voted the most or something?
They put it in like a teaser trailer. And I was like, just do it. I know you do your candy thing, but like it's funny and it's cool.
I actually think Nougat has got to be like the worst.
It's pretty boring.
And do people even know what it is?
Like, blocks.
Like, do people even know what Nougat is? Like, I know what Nougat is only because I love Toblerones. That is the only reason I know what Nougat is.
I know what Nougat is probably because my mom likes it, I believe. Someone that I know has liked it a lot. I think it might have been my mom. It could have been someone else. I don't know. And Toblerones are awesome. They're just too expensive.
Yeah. So
Nanaimo bar.
What else? Well, Nanaimo bar. Remember, I think that's sort of more relevant to us because we live near. Like, is that the origin of Nanaimo bar, or is it a thing?
I don't know if that's the origin of Nanaimo bar or not, but I know it's not just a Canadian thing. Like Nanaimo bars they're pretty cool.
Okay, let's find out the origin, because if it's like a local thing, yeah, from Nanaimo, the name of a city in the Canadian province of British Columbia. So I think that's probably worse than Nougat.
Okay, can we do a poll to see if people know what Nanaimo bars are?
Sure.
Because I feel like they're pretty big.
Let's not say if they know what they are. Let's hit a poll if they've tried one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, I like that.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Let's do it. So, have you tried
Nanaimo
bar? See, look, spell check didn't even recognize it.
That's not a good sign.
No. And don't worry, we are going to get back to that Twitter blitz, hopefully, if we can find all of
I feel like it's a bigger thing. It might not be. I could definitely be wrong. Kind of lived here forever and stuff. So.
Yeah, so it's hard for us to really say, but let's go ahead and try and think of what some of the other... I mean, there's not a lot of...
Wow!
Yeah, there you go. Get wrecked, son.
All right. Cool.
They're not very good, quite frankly. I think they're gross, so you're not really missing out.
They're very
much.
strong.
Yeah.
My mom loves them.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves them.
Yeah, I think we just got told here. That the results are clear. All right, thank you, everyone. That's enough results.
Although at the same time, how many like little pastry cake style thingy-majigs have different people tried?
Probably some, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Like, what were the other options here even? Because I remember hearing Nougat, and I remember also hearing some ones that were better. Nerds? Oh yeah,
that's a company thing.
That's terrible. Nut roll? Ooh. Nutella. Okay, I could have gotten behind Nutella.
Isn't Nutella is that a brand thing? It's a brand thing, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, they also did Kit Kat.
Yeah, but they did Kit Kat, and they reached a deal with Nestle. This was one of the suggestions, Android Nestle Crunch. This list is coming from Fandroid over here. That's cheating. That's like saying, that's like if it was H and it's like Android Honda Civic. No. Android Napoleon? Yeah. Android Noodle Pudding? Ugh. Neenish Tart? Android Nanaimo Bar? Yeah, they're all awful. They're just all terrible.
Yeah.
Android...
I'm on Wikipedia under list of desserts, and I'm going through all the different categories and looking what they have for N.
Control
and there's
F.
not much.
Oh, what's that? Non-Evat. I've never
It
I've
sounds
never
like
heard of
another
that.
Canadian thing, to be honest. Nam Kang Sai.
Yeah, that doesn't sound Canadian unless it's like in Richmond.
Nuns Puffs. Wow.
Nuns Puffs.
That. Nut roll.
Yeah, nut roll. That one was there. Wow, is N just not like
Not very common.
not a
used
delicious
for
sounding
desserts.
first letter or something? I don't get it. Well, there you go. Huh. Go figure. All right.
Yeah, there's like really not much.
Let's go have a look at that. Let's go have a look at that Twitter blitz that we were. Oh,
They probably should have came to a agreement with Nutella.
oh crap!
Did you just do that again?
No. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
No. Sorry, I'm not.
It's
I'm
okay.
not operating. At
It's all good. I just wanted to make sure you
100%
didn't do
right
that.
now.
Because if you did, I was going to be like, all right, you need to blitz and fix it again. And I'll keep doing whatever.
Hold on, I need a minute.
All good. Florida man, who at this point has probably been in jail for an obscenely long time and owes a lot of money.
Who's
Has
Florida man?
Florida man?
Yeah.
You don't know that thing?
No.
There's a subreddit called Florida man.
Okay. Well,
It's just whenever you hear like
catch
crazy
up the
news,
complete idiots
whenever,
like me. who
whenever
don't
you
know.
hear crazy news,
Yeah.
it seems to be like Florida man dies after threatening an alligator with a chocolate bar. Like just like crazy stuff. It seems to end with like or start with like Florida man.
Oh,
it's just like so it's not
I
a
get it.
specific
man
person.
from Florida, not
Yeah.
Florida man.
But how the news does it. Florida man, blah blah blah. Anyways, Florida man sues Apple for $10 billion US.
What?
Says he invented the iPhone in 1992. Yeah. There's a Gizmodo article. There's also a comparison picture, which is fantastic. That is his drawing.
Oh, hold on. I gotta bring this up. Hold on. Okay. Sorry,
Florida man. Florida man.
For $10
Billion
billion US dollars he wants. Okay, so here's the comparison picture. Here we go. The iPhone, according to Florida man. The iPhone, according to Apple. So,
Yeah.
I mean, at what point does Gene Roddenberry start suing people for inventing things?
And like
Or George Lucas? I mean, when someone releases a lightsaber, actually, you know what's kind of crazy is
Cipher
Disney probably would be on that.
what?
If someone created a lightsaber, do you think Disney would try to claim that they own all the applicable rights
Like
to
a
it?
real life lightsaber?
Yes.
I feel like if they tried to call it a lightsaber, then they'd have a problem. But creating a theoretical fantasy depiction of something, I don't think gives you the rights to its actuality. I think if that was a problem,
But could they make the argument that it is so culturally pervasive that the inspiration would have had to come from Star Wars?
I think once we got to the point where we could make something that was like that powerful based on mostly like light. I don't remember how it works in the Star Wars universe. What is it exactly?
It's an
crystals
energy
emitting
sword.
energy, right? So it's
So basically a laser.
a crystalline thing that is emitting
Yeah.
energy, which is somewhat like a laser, but only goes out a little bit and has obscene amounts of power, but only goes to like a point that looks like a sword. Once we get to the point that we can do that, I don't even know if Star Wars will still be relevant.
Or maybe it's all going to be like Galaxy Quest all over again, and we'll think that they're historical documents.
yeah.
Rewatched that recently. Still very good. I love Alan Rickman.
I've
and I
actually
miss him.
heard that. Yeah. Oh man, that sucks.
Sorry.
Ooh. Anyways, I haven't rewatched it in a long time, but I've heard from a lot of people that whenever they rewatch Galaxy Quest, they're like, holy crap, this movie's awesome.
It's still just as good. It is equally relevant. Yeah, it's not that often that you get a movie that ages that well, because nerds are still exactly the same as in 1994 or whenever that movie came out. I think it was actually a little later than that. Quest 2000. No, it couldn't have been 2008.
That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it came on DVD then.
1999. 1990. Wow, it is pretty old. Holy crap. So in 17 years, nerds have not progressed at all. Not to mention the movie was probably being written a couple years before it was actually, you know. So
and then it went through filming and editing, so like...
In 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah, not a thing.
I think you could say that.
Okay. Let's see. Wow, we've actually covered a lot of the best topics for today already. Oh yeah, the AMD RX 480 is a thing, but like we have a video on that, so.
So another thing to add to the Florida Man thing.
Yes.
The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office declared the application abandoned in 1995.
Oh, I've been screen sharing for a while again. Great. I'm just really like not on my game.
Did you do
right
anything
now.
crazy?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So yeah, there was that. It also, like, if you scroll down a little bit, he had one where it's like basically a book. And it like closes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think there's like writer and reader mode.
Okay.
So it looks more
Cellular
like
phone antenna. Speaker optional. Solar cells. So basically this is just like the scribblings of a dreamer.
Yeah. He's like, what's a cool thing? I'm gonna put it in here. Awesome.
3.5-inch diskette drive. How big is it supposed to be? It's 5 inches by 3. How is he planning to put a 3? What? How is he planning to put a 3.5-inch diskette drive in a 5.5-inch?
And how big is this? So that's 3 3/4 inches.
Rechargeable battery is here. That's where the rechargeable battery is. Page forward is here. Numeric
so the whole
phone,
typewriter keyboard with a spacebar that big is in 1/2 inch because it's 5.5 inches, right?
No, 5 inches to here by 3. Oh yeah, no. Well, it looks maybe an inch. Let's say an inch. Wow, it's really small. Okay, features each device: 80386 SX processor, 16 megahertz, 80 megabyte hard drive, writing device, 160 megabyte DRAM,
reading device.
Options. Either A or B. Calendar/clock, typewriter/keyboard. Magnetic latch. Huh? That's a good idea. Oh, more solar cells. Backlit LCD super twist display screen. Monochrome or color. Okay, all right, okay. Well, good luck with that, buddy. Good old Florida man.
You know, it would be kind of fun if the iPhone had an 80 megabyte hard drive and 2 megabytes of RAM and a 16 megahertz processor. That sounds like the iPhone. What's the next topic?
I don't know. I don't really know if I see much else here. Oh, this is just a quick one. Samsung has a 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD, the SM961. So right now it's an SM961, so that's an OEM product. Tom's Hardware has a review up, but it is speculated that this will be rebadged as some kind of a 9 something Pro at some point here. So maybe a 960 Pro or something along those lines. Very, very interesting. It's like wicked fast. Like what is this?
1 terabyte at $512 and 512 gigs at $280 is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, 480 gigs to 512 gigs is the SSD size where I really don't feel limited by it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm pretty comfortable with 256 still, unless it's a gaming machine. But if it's a gaming machine, I want my 500. I want my 500 gigs, but 1 terabyte is at the point where I feel like I can be like a data pack rat and I don't really have to clean up after myself anymore. Yep.
Not with the amount of...
I have a NAS.
Yeah. My only thing is you said gaming machine, and game load times can still be nicer.
Yeah, but I don't mind putting games that aren't important. Like Lego Batman is on a hard drive.
Divvying,
Yeah, just have a couple Steam libraries. There's no real reason not to do that.
It's very easy, actually.
Yeah.
I made a video on it. I think it just came out. This SSD hard drive optimization thing. It's really easy to have Steam have different save locations, and it'll ask you every time, and it's actually really nice. There's... Where is it? Activision issues DMCA takedown against developers of Orion Prelude, and then there's comparison images in there that you got to check out. I'll post the Steam article, but check out the comparison images.
Here.
I think the bottom one might be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. So this is supposed to prove that Orion ripped off Black Ops?
Yeah. So, apparently it was taken down from the Steam stores due to the DMCA request. It is now back in the Steam stores. The official quote says, on behalf of Activision, who alleges that the game Orion used weapon art content from Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, the weapon art in question includes the M.2 rifle, the Haymaker rifle, and the BAL 27 rifle.
What?
The developers of Orion Prelude were not contacted or notified before their game was removed from Steam at all.
Wow. That's pretty brutal.
A Reddit post on our PC Master Race goes into how the DMCA claim may be legitimate, and apparently some of the main points address that parts of the 3D models are apparently exactly the same. So if you click on that one...
yeah, let me bring up the thingamabooby here.
That is actually a more interesting look at it, because that's actually how you hold the gun in the game. So the images that were given up were of side isolated models that you don't really see in the game. This is more when you're holding the firearm. At the same time, the red dot sight is more telling to me than the iron sight, because like the little area with the lights on it here and here are actually just like a button panel. And that could be taken from some other gun, I'm not sure. And iron sights are pretty generic, and the side of that gun looks pretty generic. The red dot sight on the right,
which they can't see, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, sorry. Also looks a little generic, but I kind of see where they're probably coming from.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see how this plays out. I'm not gonna be the judge on this one.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know how that legally plays in. I think we'd both need to know a lot more about different rifles. Like if that red dot sight was taken from like something in real life, then who cares?
Right. There's more rumors. So original article here is NintendoInquirer.com. More rumors that the NX will be cartridge based. Wow, blast from the past. Possibly a good move, to be perfectly honest.
I think that's kind of cool. I might be the weird one there.
I mean, I don't see... I've been wondering why media doesn't come on SD cards for a long time. Like a really long time. Well, not I've been wondering. I understand why. It's because they're cheap. It's because the companies that sell this stuff to us don't want to spend another, 82 cents on the media that they're giving us. They'd rather have something that costs 82 cents less, a disc. But basically, in the final months before it's formally unveiled, blah, 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 admitted hoax, etc., etc., etc. But there's been, it looks like a trademark apply. Hold on. So, NeoGAF user Aetherios noticed something in Nintendo US's trademark for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. User Goods and Services section, both video game discs and video game cartridges are listed. This contrasts with other Wii U software trademarks. So it could be Nintendo's just updating their verbiage so that they can use the same thing for portable games, which already use cartridges, and full-size console games. But I choose to believe that we're going to have a cartridge-based console again.
That would be cool.
Which would mean Nintendo only ever had 3 disc-based consoles then.
Yeah.
And again, so has Sony, for that matter. So has Microsoft. So there you go.
Right, the GameCube. I always forget about the GameCube.
Yeah, the GameCube was a thing. Just because no one cared doesn't mean that it wasn't a thing.
I didn't have an NES when I was a kid. I had friends that had them. We just didn't have one. So I had a SNES and N64. Then I never had a GameCube. And then I very luckily got a Wii pretty early on. And then I have my Wii U. So I just completely skipped that whole segment.
All right, let's go ahead and fire up Twitter over there. I don't even know if it's not really set up anymore. We don't really use it that often. Let's just go ahead and bippity boopity right about there. Oh,
Beep.
oh, that did not work. Oh, that was supposed to work. Add screen capture. Okay. Let's see if that works this time. No. Okay, well then I will just read tweets.
I've had this problem before. I think it might be that browser. But what you do is minimize the browser, highlight the area where it is, bring the browser back up, and it works.
Oh, what a chore.
I know. It's super annoying.
Well,
I don't know if it's exploit or if it's the browser or what.
Kind of guess it's like there-ish.
Oh, yeah. This is my pain. I had to do it during the charity stream that I did. It was super annoying.
Good enough. All right.
There you go.
Bring back Dennis. Cheer up, you two. You're both so down today. Well,
Sorry.
we both had kind of rough weeks. TwitchBot is timing everyone out for using the uptime command. Is this intentional? I don't know. I wanted Nutella. Hail Poodles. I'm just glad the media didn't make as big of a deal as they usually do. Yeah, I think there's still time for them to do that. You need some tech tips, JK. Just a little Love WAN show. Oh, we've got people commenting on my leak there. That's okay. All that information is completely out of date now, which is really good.
Yep.
Yay for doing things quickly.
Whoa, you get over the border easily. What?
Still safer than 100% people on the road. Yep, so that's a good point. Oh, yeah, so a lot of... Oh, I don't like autopilot. I like to drive by myself. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, James says, my uncle's Model S tells you to constantly keep your hands on the wheel. Yep, that's what it's supposed to do. Time magnets, how do they work? Would you consider buying an autonomous car? Yeah,
No.
I would.
Too expensive.
Well, okay, right, other than that. I would consider it.
Fair. Yes, okay. I would as well. And then I would go, it is too expensive, and then I would stop considering it.
Okay, let's bring up the straw poll results, since it seems like that pretty much tells us the answer here. 74% of you are still comfortable with autonomous vehicles in spite of the death.
Well, you're talking to nerds. Nerds are probably down with math and
I
statistics.
prefer to call them a tech-savvy audience.
Nerd.
I know.
I think it's okay when you call yourself the thing. Anyways, they're probably more down with numbers and statistics and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And they're seeing, mathematically, it is better. So they're
Right.
going, okay.
Mathematically, it's better until we have a bigger sample size, and maybe it's not better anymore.
That's also true.
I mean, we could have another death tomorrow, and all of a sudden, that would make it as much worse than people operating vehicles as now it is better.
And there's also the thing
that.
that I've been saying from the start,
Yeah.
which is what I'm afraid of is it potentially going haywire instead of just not detecting something, driving through it and crashing.
Right.
It going nuts. That's scary. because a human driver, unless
can go
malicious,
haywire.
They can go haywire, unless malicious isn't going to, like, if they crash into something, I don't know, like because that's going to cause the big media problem.
Oh, like if one just spazzes out,
because
or if one decides
to
between
go,
the driver's life and the pedestrian's life.
Yeah,
when
that kind
happens.
of stuff. And
okay.
There's a valid problem there, which is if someone goes nuts and drives over a bunch of people, you put them in jail.
Yeah.
If an AI goes nuts and drives over a bunch of people, you go, oh my God, this thing is installed in everything.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Yeah.
And that's a valid question.
All right, so thank you guys for tuning into the WAN show. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did this week. Actually, it was kind of a nice distraction today. Although, actually, for a lot of today, I was working on a really cool project. I am calling this project the most comfortable gaming setup ever. And Luke thought I was like, what did you think I was doing with this?
I thought he was trolling. I thought that you were... how much can I describe it?
I haven't disclosed what makes it comfortable yet. I have so I have tweeted pictures of the room.
Okay.
So I've tweeted like this.
So that room is really small. I've been in there. I've tried to stand in there, etc., etc. It's small and like kind of cramped. Yeah, exactly. So I've experienced the room. So when he says the most comfortable gaming room ever, and I know the back cramping that I had to do in order to get in there, my mind is going, he's going to shove a whole bunch of tech in there because he's told me what he's shoving in there, and it's going to be way too much, and he's going to be cramped, and he's going to make like a funny video about how he just had to have all these things, so he made it work. That's what I thought the plan was. I thought it was going to be a funny video. Nope.
No, it's going to be a badass video.
Yeah.
All right, so we will see you guys again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
The intro.
Oh, Canada, our true north's native stream.
Can you find out what he's talking about? Squarespace! You should.